I've just turned the cold back on. Nothing coming out the cold, everything. I don't know if they've crossed a hot and cold somewhere. To be honest, it might take me as long to empty the stuff out of the cupboard as it is to do the job. It's not going to go. That's lock out. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. I hope everybody's doing okay. A little bit of a random episode, this one. To be honest, I've been super busy the last couple of weeks, so I've not had time to film much. I've done a couple of boiler installs. I've had some breakdowns, not mental breakdowns, like boiler breakdowns. What else have we been doing? Just random stuff, really. I've had loads of boilers that ran out of oil for some reason. It's kind of gone like that. So yeah, I'll include what I can in the video. Hopefully you enjoy, and we'll catch you straight on the jobs. I've just took this old boiler off the wall. All the pipe work's dropped down, so I've had to be so careful where I fixed it in. I've had to use pretty much where the old fixings were. I'm just going to get everything soldered up now and get it sorted. I'd like to keep the pipes absolutely dead straight, but I didn't have room for a bend and I didn't have room for a 45. They're going to box this underneath anyway because there's a filter going here. So yeah, it's one of them jobs where it is easier to solder than it is to press. I just worked my way from left to right on the boiler. It was an old glowworm that was in. It was a condenser, but they've repiped the whole house. So I'm just here to put the boiler on. They've put all new rods and everything on. That spanner is really handy for doing these. It just locks straight onto your nuts. You can nip them up. That's the flow and the hot in. Next one's gas, then we've just got the cold, and then I'll drop the filter down here. That's got my flow, my hot, my gas and my cold in. I'm going to put a CalMag and the shock arrestor underneath the kitchen sink with the water coming in. It's just going to make life a lot easier on this one because I've not got space under the boiler, but the filter, then we're just going to have to get it in here somehow. That's the condenser. It is going under here as well. We've got to pick this back up because we've had a new sink. The condenser is literally just down there, so we've got to tee it into that way so it's all internal. So it's not going too bad. I think the filter's literally just going to have to sit there. I've snuck the condenser in behind. You can get the lid off. As I say, the box in this thing is going to make it removable. There's not a lot else I can do on this one. That's just got the boiler all dropped on the wall and connected up inside. I've just got the flue to do, and then the condenser tie up on the case on this boiler. It's got a lovely dinted scratch on it, and so I'm going to have to come all the way back to put a new case on this. Brilliant, lovely. I'll have to see if I can find the guy. I don't know whether I can fill this heating system up or not. And I say they've replumbed it up. Looks like it's all done this piece fit, but it is all brand new radiators, so I'm not going to flush it. But I need to find out if he's actually had it tested, otherwise we're going to get wet, aren't we? Everything's connected apart from that one radiator, I think. I don't know, I'll see if I can find him. I've just turned the cold back on. Nothing coming out the cold, everything. I don't know if they've crossed a hot and cold somewhere. It might just be crossed locally. I've been around, checked everything out. We've got cold coming out of the right. So the only thing we can do is fire the boiler up and see if it works. I mean, it might just be crossed here. I'll switch the hot on now on the boiler. It's holding a little bit of pressure. Old mate's gone for a walk round. Make sure there's nothing leaking. See if we can get it up into the green. She's holding pressure anyway. I've not seen any leaks. I'm just doing a tightness test on the gas outside. Hopefully we can get this one running. It's just if there's a hot and cold cross somewhere, the hot water won't work, but the heating will. Well, it's not really my job to find it, but I'll have a look, see if I can find it. It may just be it's crossed down there. It may be a deeper issue. I've still got to wire it up, haven't I? I don't think we've got any gas at the boiler yet. 20 millibar inlet pressure on the boiler. I can get my digital gauge out, but I've just opened this hot tap. Yeah, that's coming through hot, so it is literally just crossed down on this sink, which is good news for the customer. I'll just stick the heat in on continuous. How do I do that? Heating mode, just on. You can set the time and program and stuff up on here anyway. So you can do your time and date and everything. I just go around and test the rads. That should just be on. I just put the Worcester Right, so that should fire up for the heating. Flame should come on. Beautiful. Leaking air out somewhere. Where's that leaking from? Coming out of the ragtails. I'll have a word with him. I'm just going around and get everything bled. There is the other plumber on site, so I can have a word with him about them ragtails. Been around and bled everything, and everything is heating up, to be fair, right to the top, which is good. Super whip. So it's just that one leak on them tails, isn't it, downstairs? Yeah, they're alright. That's everything up and commissioned. All the inlet pressure's done. Flue gas analyzer. I'm just going to have to pop back in the morning with a new case for this. Annoying, but I can't leave it like that. I've been asked to tighten this kitchen tap up. To be fair, the hot's not bad, the cold's loose. Sometimes you do struggle with these on these Belfast sinks because it's just how they are. You've got to get right up behind. Sometimes you can slide the sinks forward depending how they've done. We'll empty some of this stuff out of the cupboard and see if we can get it up. I've got my Armade jaw dropper, so that's actually a pretty good bit of kit for reaching taps and stuff. So that's like my go-to tool for these. So yeah, we'll have a look, see how awkward it's going to be. We might just be able to reach up without taking the sink out, hopefully. Sometimes these get stuck in with silicone and then you can't get the sinks out. See, this is like swollen up as well, so I don't even know if that would slide forward very easily. To be honest, it might take me as long to empty the stuff out of the cupboard as it is to do the job, but it doesn't bother me. And I see some tradesmen moaning about it, or tradespeople moaning about it, but and we're here to provide a service, and if that means moving some stuff out of the way, that's what we're going to do. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get you guys an angle. This is going to be one of them jobs where you might be able to see better than me because I can't see anything. The nut is it's recessed into the timber as well, and it's on flexes. I don't know if I could tighten that. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get on this because it's because I've not recessed enough out to get on the back nut. Can't see what I'm doing, that's the problem. I don't know if I've got enough to get on because the timber. That's tightened it. I couldn't really see what I was doing, but how's that looking? It's better than it was. I don't think you're going to get much better. I think what they've done is they've cut the back nuts down as they've passed it through the wood, so there's not a lot for the spanner to grip onto. And without taking all the sink out, which I don't think you're going to do very easily, I think that's how it's going to have to be. I've got all the radiators to check on this one as well, and the boiler to have a look at. So yeah, it's an empty property, so they've just given us a list of jobs. So the pressure's a little bit low on the boiler, but these haven't got a pressure switch on. And to be honest, they've not asked me to service the boiler, I've just got to check the heating system. So I'll just fire the boiler up, check the radiators, and yeah, make sure everything's working. That's this one all sorted. I've just flicked this heating on, I put a little bit of pressure in. It's fired up, to be fair. I don't know when it was last running, but they've just asked me to check the radiators. So it might just be the pins are stuck on some of them, or there may be that they all work. The pipe run's not done the best, is it? But my pet hates service valves on heating. I don't even know where that one goes, to be fair. Is there a rad? Oh, it goes that way. There must be a rad through there. But yeah, they tend to leak. That's your flow on these, comes out the top, and then on these early Worcesters, the return drops in at the bottom on the tap in. Been called to this job. This is about the 5th one this week that's run out of oil that I've been to. it's just a case of bleeding it through. I do have my puller on the van if I need it. Somebody's already had a go at this looking at it, because there's already some paper towel and stuff down here, so we'll probably check the emissions on this one as well. The problem is, if somebody's adjusted the pump pressure, it will throw the readings well out. So I'll get it bled through and then we'll stick the analyzer in it. I could put my pump pressure gauge on it, to be fair, but I'm not sure what it would be on this boiler. Probably about 120 psi. I could always bring some instructions, so we'll get it running and then I'll check to make sure it's all nice and safe. I dropped my Worcester Allen key down the side of the last boiler as well. Absolutely gutted. It was a downward firing Worcester, and yeah, I dropped my Allen key. Gutted. That might actually go. I wonder if it's not run out of oil then. Let's turn that off there. I'm going to connect my sucker to it. This will just pull all the air out straight out. I'm going to check the filters as well on the tank. Don't hate me, but I'm using grips. Disconnect that one. Don't use grips on them. Shouldn't use grips. Should use grips. No. Use a spanner, that'll connect. Get in the outlets. Should have gloves on as well. Put gloves on for all the others. Right, open that one. So it's just pulling all the air out the oil line. It does self-siphon as well, this. So there's still a few air bubbles in it. See them a bit clearer there. This only had a new hose on it in November. We're in February now. We serviced this boiler. So I'm not going to put a new line on it just because I know it's a brand new one on it. Right, we'll switch that one back on. Press the reset. That'll probably fire. It might complain a little bit, but it'll probably go. We do need to check filters as well, but we'll see if it lights for a start. We'll get the analyzer in it as well. Just make sure the readings are okay. There we go, it's lit. It's lit. Everything else looks okay. Well, this has been running about 10 minutes now, absolutely no murmurs, but we get the analyzer in it just to make sure they are nice and safe. It does smell a little bit, but it's probably because it's run out of oil. That is the test point on these. I have to unwind that. I have to unwind that test point. I always think that's a bad design. I don't know if the camera's going to focus. You've got to focus. Focus. So we've got COs of 25 ppms, CO2 11.7. I would have thought this should have been about 12 on this. We're not on millimoles away. Access air is 32.9. So don't think the pump's been played with, because it would be way out if it was. Yeah, they're coming back up 11.8. I've only just put the analyzer in. The boiler has been running about 10 minutes, so we're nice and clean is what I'm trying to say. So I don't think there's any reason to worry. 32.5 on the excess air, 11.7. Yeah, it's burning pretty clean. So yeah, happy with this one. I don't think there's going to be any issues, so another easy one sorted. I'm just going to run the analyzer around this test point as well, making sure we're not picking up anything. I don't like these test points very much. I think that is must be an interrupter for the flue. It's clearly an afterthought. I think you have to wire them in to the control box yourself. So just make sure it's not passing 0. O2 is a little bit low, but it's just been in the boiler. It's 20.6. So just making sure I'm not getting any readings on that. I don't think we will do. I just don't want to leave a problem. Yeah, happy with that. Air tube's coming back up, 20.7. Yeah, that's fine. This is another oil boiler I've been called to that's ran out of oil. It's typical. I've literally just dropped my sucker back at the stores because it was just stinking my van out. Oil in the van always does. And I can't get to the tank on this one to check the filter. So hopefully we can just drag it through. It should just be a case of bleeding that. See if, I don't think it'll go on just a reset. That's not going to fire. We can, it's not going to go. That's lock out. It would be a lot easier with my sucker thing, but literally I was 10 minutes away from this job and I'm like 20 minutes away from my stores, so we'll see if it will go. I'd like to check the filters really as well. It's funny, this week I've had no end of these, I've had no end of toilet seats. That might fire. It might actually go. I'm going to reset. That might fire. It's lit. This may go to lockout because the problem is, yeah, it's going to go because it's farting, you see. It's because it's got air in the oil line, so I might need to do this a couple of times. Well, it is better with a sucker. Trouble is, you can't carry everything on your van all the time. I just pulled a bit more through. It did light again. It's going to go to lock out. It's trying. It's getting there. That's lock out though. Tiny. I've got to be careful doing it a bit like this. We're only in a boiler room though. It's not like we're in somebody's kitchen. Wait a second. Because you've got about 10 bar pressure behind it. That's the problem. My hands, the other hand's on the shut-off valve. Just we'll get a little bit of fuel flow through there. Probably when it lights, it'll go. It's fired up this time. What I can do is I can always put my vacuum gauge on this one to make sure it's okay, and we can check combustion as well. I'll quickly do my safety checks. It looks like it's been serviced regularly. It's the first time I've been to this boiler day. So we'll do our safety checks. Ideally I'd like to clean the filters out just because it's ran out of oil, but it is locked away, the tank. But yeah, once we've done our safety checks, I think this one's all sorted. Right, I'm happy with this boiler. The readings are all fine in this one. I'm not going to go through this one again because I've only just done the other one and the video will get boring. But yeah, another easy one, all sorted. As always, thank you so much for watching. All the support is greatly appreciated. Somebody said the other week I look really stressed out. To be honest, I'm not really feeling the stress. It's easier not to be stressed when you're a little bit busy than you are a little bit quiet. I've got just the right amount of work on at the minute. Probably a little bit too much, but it's better to be busier than quiet. Still pricing plenty as well, which is a good sign. It's when you stop sort of pricing, that's when you know things are going to go a little bit quiet, but it's a really good sign. Even if I'm not winning that job, it means that another plumber has potentially won the job, so he's going to be busy, and then there's other work available. So there's always enough work for sort of everybody. You've just got to sort of, you know, be competitive, and keep pricing plenty. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. I don't know what Friday's episode is going to be. We might be back on one of the new builds. To be honest, I'm back probably when this video goes out. I'm back on a big like barn conversion I've done. I've got 5 bathrooms, second fix on that one. You won't have seen that job. I think I've only shown a little bit of that job, but I've got quite a bit of footage on that which I can show at some point. So yeah, I'm back there when this video goes out. So I've got all them bathrooms going in, we've got a few bits and bobs to finish off on that one, and then we've got a commercial plant room to do next month, and there's plenty of work coming up is what I'm trying to say. So yeah, thank you for watching, and we'll catch you all on Friday.